Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, thank you for the support. So today I thought I'd have a play with this Forever Florals Hydrangea Deluxe Craft Pad. I've had it a little while. It was released not so long ago, probably a couple of months, but it's beautifully pastel. It's matte-tastic, so of course it's not glossy, and I believe you can still ink over it if you wanted to. So as always with these pads, you have the 4 sheets of the toppers. Just going to take that one out. That's the one we're going to be playing with today. And you get a foiled sheet and a printed sheet for each image. So we need this one, which is the coordinating one, I believe, although you could use any of them. And then on the second card, I'm going to be using this one. And then you also get 8 inserts as well, and just, you don't have to use them as inserts. I mean, they are printed, so you could use them as a backing sheet, or just as a normal layer. And then you've got your sort of, shows you on the back all of the sheets that you have there. Okay, so let's pop that down for a second, and I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And this first card, I'm going to start with a 6x6 card blank. Okay, and I've got some gold mirri card because the foiling is all mirrored gold on it, so I'm going to use this gold, and I'm just cutting this down at 2 notches under the 6. This is just a piece that I'm reusing from the other day. And then I'm going to take the backing card, and I'm going to cut this, and this is the piece I want, so I'm going to save this foiled piece for another day. 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6 is where I want to be. Is that one, and I think that is all I need to cut for a second. So these are not complicated cards, nice and quick. And both the cards I'm doing today are going to be tent folds. I did the 2 concept ones last time. I do sort of prefer a sort of normal tent fold sort of card, or even if it's going the other way, just purely because of when I used to sell cards, the concept cards, people go, ooh, they're nice, but they didn't often buy them because I don't think they were 100% sure on how they would set them up when they got home, or the person that they were getting them for would. So even though I did have little instructions that they could take, they just weren't as popular. So that's why I do tend to prefer a sort of tent fold, just because I know, if like say the charity is selling them, or whatever. I think it is this way. I'm just trying to work out from the writing. Yes, this way. If the charity is selling them, or if I'm giving it to someone, they just are a lot happier with it. Okay, so that's where we're at. Perfectly nice card there. And then we're going to pop this long topper and layers out. So I'm going to pop that to there, and just going to think about what sentiment I want. So I think I'm going to go with lots of love, and maybe this one as well, with just the same picture on, with these flowers on. And I don't think these flowers here are hydrangea, it's just these ones behind it. So okay, so I'm going to pop all of these out. I'm not going to be using all of these today. I'm going to miss out this middle one, so I can save that for another occasion. I say that usually it ends up on my desk and then something gets put on top of it and then it gets squished. Let's try and keep that somewhere safe. Okay, and what I had planned to do was to raise this off, but I don't want it to go more than an inch. So the actual envelope that I'm going to be using is going to be a 7 by 6. So we need to be somewhere around about there-ish, and then that will come to there. So let me grab some pads. I think I might go with the Crafter's Companion ones, just purely because it's going to raise everything up. I'm just going to put, if I turn, let me just leave that one there for a second. Turn that over, just put a little squiggle on there, and then I hopefully won't put pads where I don't need them to be. I'm just going to put these ones through, and these are the smaller Crafter's Companion ones, but I think they're about a 5mm maybe height, so you've got a good bit of lift on the card. And I think it does need it because these the backing sheet that I'm using is a very similar colour to that, so by lifting that and elevating it, it's just going to give it those shadows that is going to help that play on my card. So in effect it sort of feels a bit like another layer, because you've got the shadows and that darkness there. So it's quite a nice trick to use sometimes. So just as always, oops, struggling a little bit with these. Just get those out. And I don't know if I told you guys about the blue tits that have been nesting in the garden. I think I did tell you last time, but we watched them fledge the other day. So I believe 2 had already come out by the time I sort of noticed. Well, I had a feeling something was going to happen because she was chirping a lot outside of the nest and staying longer outside rather than just hopping in and feeding. But by the time I noticed, there was 2 in the tree at the back, next door's tree. But then we sort of sat there and another 5 came out, and it was so sweet because they came out smaller and smaller, you know, like they were, because they lay an egg every day, so they were getting smaller and smaller. It was super cute, but then it was all sad because they'd gone, which was, you know, you're happy that they all survived, although one did stay. The youngest ones, the last ones 2, they struggled to fly a little bit because they're the younger ones, and the first one that came out of these younger 2, he made it into a sort of bush at the back of the garden, and then I didn't see any more of him, so he just kept very quiet, although the mother kept coming back and feeding him. And then the last one, the tiniest one, he first of all he was on the floor, and then I was worried Henry would get it, because of course he would, it would not have survived Henry, that's for sure. So I did try and get it, and it sort of scared itself up into this sort of bush at the back, and so I was worrying about it. And then but the mother kept coming back, or the father kept coming back and feeding it and chattering away to it. It survived the night because in the morning it was up in the other neighbour's tree, and the mother or the father came back and fed it. The other one had gone completely, so I gather that they picked that one up. It decided it could fly. And then I sort of came in, got a cup of tea. So that's back on there. I need to take that one off. I came in, got a sort of a drink and whatnot, and then I went back out, and he'd moved from the tree on the neighbour's right to the tree on the neighbour's left. I'll put pads again where I don't need them. I might get away with it actually, so I won't pull that other one off. Yeah, so he'd moved to the tree on the neighbour's left, and then stayed there for a little while. Mum came and chirped at it, told him off, because she told us off quite a few times for getting for being out in the garden when she wanted to be feeding her babies. And yeah, she told him off, and then next time I went out there he was gone, so she must have got him to go and fly with the rest of the family. So I believe there were 7 that made it, so that's good. The amount of times I was chasing off, well, not chasing off the magpies, but the magpies were super interested in them, but because we were out in the garden, whenever we heard them, they stopped. You know, they didn't come in the garden and get them because the nest was quite exposed, really. But yeah, so I'm super happy that they went off, and either the mum or the dad came back and had a little bath in the bird bath later in the day, so that was quite cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of ribbon for this, so bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so I've got this darker green, which I think, because we've got this green in now, I would have preferred it to be a bit more of a fresh green, but we'll make do. And then I'm gonna pop these. Let's see how we want these to go. So just trying to run them across. No, I'm going to go on there with that one, and then that one down there. So if I pop some pads on here, oh, and other news as well. I ordered my Gemini 2 from yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So now I'm super excited. Obviously it's not got the turntable because they haven't got that in stock at the crafters yet. But I don't know if I'll need it anyway, because I've got this one on one of the rotating colouring mats, but I find it quite hard to turn, so I've got used to not turning it. So I don't know if I would use it anyway, but I quite like the fact that it's got the little sort of flaps for the actual plates to stand on at the end, so like literally they're not falling out the back, they would be held there. So I just want to see if there's any other way we can do. Maybe we can do it this way. I've never done a bow like this by tying it onto the tag, so let's see how it turns out. Straighten these bits out, so I'm going to reduce that down, but I don't want it to be a huge bow. We'll bring in our scissors. Oh, that's alright. And then we don't have to glue that on, so that's tied on, so I quite like that. So I just need some on this edge here. There, 1, 2. I'm going to go crazy. wax off again. I have a problem with my thyroid. I keep my nails quite short because they just break. So that tacky glue, straighten up a little bit. So it just makes it a little hard to pick these bits off. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is bring in my Crafter's Companion pen. I'm just going to grab a bit of card just to try and make sure it's not too flooded. It does feel quite flooded. Let me just take some of that off. And then what I wanted to do is just go over, with this being the Matastic, going to take this, it's just going to add a little bit of shimmer to it. And you can do as much or as little as you would like. And then you've got to decide whether you want to transfer any of that onto this main piece. And I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do it on this main here, but I am going to do just a little bit on the frame as well, just to bring out a little bit of glitz in, sorry. And I'm also going to add some gems, of course. So wouldn't be a card without some gems. And if you haven't got this clear overlay pen, just some clear glitter, that's Glamour Dust, finest glitter in the world. I think it's perfect. You can do that with a quickie glue pen, something like that, and then pop some glitter on, and you're going to get something just as nice. And then, so let me just grab some gems. Let's see what we've got. So we've got some nice pearls there. I don't think I want to go with glitter because I'm going with glitter on the next card. So the other option would be these, which are a similar colour to that ribbon. Let's move those out of the way. I quite like these pearls actually, even though the green's slightly different. It's the only green I've got. But then we've got 3 different greens, so we've got a trio of different greens. So let's go with those. Okay, so let's turn this round, and I think if that glue will stop spitting, we'll do 3 on this side. Grab my knife, I'll pop a nice big one at the bottom, and then this one's lost its sticky, and no, let's not do that little one, let's do another one this size. That's there. And then I'm going to do, turn this back round, we'll do, I don't know why this has to bubble, but I'm sure we'll be fine. So I'm just going to put 3 little dots on there, and then these ones I'm going to use these tiny ones. So 1, 2, and 3. Just move that over just a tad. I'll move that one down, try and spread those out a bit more evenly. So we've got 6, and now I'm going to put 1 in this corner here. So we've got our odd, you know how I used to like my odd numbers. So So we're just going to go with the one big one in that way. And I'll put those away for now. And then, so that now, all that needs is the insert to go in. Okay, so I'm going to do that later because you've seen me put the inserts in. Basically, I'll just cut it to, fold it in half and then just trim it down to fit. And I put glue on this front edge so that when the card opens, the insert opens with it. Okay, so that is card number 1. Okay, just pop that one over there to dry. And then I am ready for card number 2. So this one is a card blank which is 7 by 7. And I'm going to be using this sheet of card. So if I bring my, and this is just slightly under 7 by 7, so it will fit in a 7 by 7 box. Okay, so, and I'm going to be using this pretty bright diamond sparkles. And I'm going to come in 2 notches under the 7 and 2 notches under the 7. Obviously save all these bits, punch butterflies, hearts, those sort of things with them. I'm just going to check that, like I say, it was just under, so let's just take another little millimetre off. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 notches under the 7. 1, 2, 3. And let's see how that goes. Yep, happy with that. Okay, so then I'm going to take this piece here. So we were already 3 notches, so 1, 2, 3. So I only want a thin border because I think otherwise it's just going to be too much. So I'm going to go to 5 notches under the 7, which is just over 6.5. So actually it's just under 6 3/4. And then I need to keep that piece in. And again, just under that 6 3/4. And I'm just going to check. And I've got the perfect border on there. Okay, coming back to this piece that we cut off here, and I want this corner because I want to match it up with this here. So I'm just going to line up this little bit of white edge here on my trimmer, and we'll just whip that off. Okay, so that should be our cutting for now. Now if you wanted to, what you could do is go and cut around this and elevate it. I'm not going to do that today. Okay, so let's start with this one. So I can use my all-purpose glue. This is the alcohol based one. And this is going straight onto there. Giving it a good smoosh down, but just being careful not to get any of that glue on my glitter card because it will take away the finish. It will start to break it down, so just getting that in the right place. And then this one I'm going to use my tacky glue on. So it's quite a thick card, so it shouldn't make it warp. And it's not going to affect that glitter card. Sometimes, or a lot of the time, I do use my all-purpose and then just do a bit of tacky glue around the edges, but didn't do that today. So this piece here is just going to go exactly onto there. I'm just going to debate whether I want that a little bit raised or whether I want that flat. I think I'm going to have that a little bit raised, just the tiniest wee bit. So I've got these 1mm pads, so they are the tiny ones, so We'll have to put quite a few on. And just give it a little bit more support. Okay, yeah, that's plenty. And the reason I do that is just to check that it's got a good amount of support all over. Okay, I'm just going to pop one as close as I can there. And we're just going to take all of these backs off again. And I always put a bit of tacky glue on just to give that glue a bit of extra stability, a bit of longevity, and it also gives me the benefit of a couple of seconds of wiggle time as well. As you will see if you watch any of my other videos, I don't always get it right first time, in the right position first time. I think that's just, you know, any human won't get it right 100% of the time. So this is just going over the top like so. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then we've got this large topper here, which is this hydrangea with the butterfly. This is the topper that I'm going to be using. I haven't quite decided what configuration I want to use it in yet. I know it's going to be going across that way because that is the way it's intended to go. I've also got this border here. I'm just wondering if I want to use that, and I've also got these little tacks. I don't think I want two, my one and only. We've got best wishes on your special day, which I quite like. You know how I hate to hide a picture. You know, the artwork is so beautiful, so let's have a look. You're so lovely. I'm going to cut this border out because I think I might use it as a flag and then put that sentiment on. But we'll see. We'll get this butterfly as well. Let's give ourselves a couple of options. Okay, let's see how we're going to pop this on. So we've got this bit here. We could then have our little flag. Why would you like that there though? Nope, that. Okay, well, let's just pop these out. Let's have a little think. I might not use that one again. I really like that image. Let's have a look at this. Or we could get rid of that one. That looks a little odd. Okay. And then the other option is to go across like so, quite high. Can't really have an upside down flag, can you? Okay, I think I'm settled with that. Okay, so let's start again with those Crafter's Companion pads. So just going to grab my pencil again, put a little mark there. And then one of that there, just so I can try and remember to avoid those. Probably I'll start telling you something else and then completely forget. I've gone quite high on this one. Obviously I've got to remember on here we've already got 1mm, so I'm not going to want the same amount of pad on there, and I think I'm probably going to be able to get away with another 1mm pad on that side, but I will just pop one on and see how that sits on top of there. Let's have a little see. I might need to just double those up, so that's what I'll do. So let's just pop these off. And be interested to know if you've got this pad at home. I know I did have quite a few comments on Facebook about the Land of Enchantment one that I did last time, and then I did find that it was sadly Hunkydory don't do it anymore, so I'm not sure if you can buy that elsewhere. I know when I was desperate for one of the pads, I think it was the Horse and Country one, I did find it on eBay. But yeah, so sadly Hunkydory, we're not doing that one anymore. But I know this one's a new one, so it's definitely able to get hold of this one. So I'm just going to double pad that up, so there's 2mm on that side and there's either 3 or 5 on that side, but it should sit a bit better. Okay, so as always, a little dab of the glue just to give us a little bit of wiggling time. Bring that down. Just making sure we are a little bit straight. There we go. So happy with that. And then this one, I don't think I'm going to go to quite the same height in the centre of it. So let's bring in some of these Hunkydory strips. Actually, what I'm going to do is just put a quick line across there, and then that should be more or less where I need to avoid. So let's pop some on here, and these are probably about a 3mm. And the thing I hate about oval dies, and I tell you what, the thing I hate is that you can have like about, well, I've got probably about 5 or 6 sets of oval dies, but it still doesn't match this one. So like if I wanted to take that and gut it and then cut another purple glitter border to go around here, it doesn't match. And even like the Hunkydory ones don't match, and I don't understand why it doesn't match. I know why it doesn't match. I know there's like half a dozen different types of oval, but it's just really annoying that it's not the same. Okay, so that's my little moan about ovals. So this is going to come down like so, and I think I'll go a little higher with this little butterfly again. Just pop 2 in the centre. And that one's going over there. Okay, and then we have these glitter gems, and I've got a couple of these purple ones. I don't think I want to go with the dark purple, but I think I could either go with these rose ones, which is quite similar, or I could go with this light purple. So I think I might go with the light purple. So I've only got the big ones and a couple of the small one, medium ones. So just going to pop 3 big ones over here. Hopefully I've spaced that out okay. They're going to be pretty close together. Let's bring this round. And that one in the middle. Bit of ribbon, don't know where that's up here from. So let's just move those where we need those to be. And then let's see, so I'm going to do another big one down here, which is this one. So we've got 4. I'm going to do another big one here. So I just need to move over just a little tad. Okay, and then I wanted to put 2 more, so I'm just going to think, where do I want those to be? I don't know if they would be too big for there. Let's put them on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit on this side and match up that side. I'm just going to bring those into there, like so. And then what I'm going to do with this one, I know I did the glitter overlay. I'm going to do what I said you can do with the glamour dust. So what I need to do is just grab my glue pen. Okay, so I've got my glue pen. I've just bought that bit of card in just so that I can sprinkle off. And the last one I did the glitter on the background. I'm going to do the same, I think, because just warm that up a little bit. Hopefully it's going to be working. Yeah, I can see some glue. I'm just going to go around the edges, these petals, and this is a quickie glue pen. Crafter's Companion do a similar one as well. You could use your if you've got the pens that stick the foil, it'd be nice with the gold foil, or the pink foil that Crafter's Companion do. So I'm just going around these flowers, just following the actual design itself. Okay, and then before I do that second one, I'll just pop this on, and like I say, this is very fine and it's kind of iridescent, so it picks up whatever colour you put underneath it. So I'm just going to go and do the same again, and this comes out sort of a bluey colour, but it does dry clear. And I'm just roughly going around these petals. I'm not, I mean, if you wanted to, you could literally just do a little line on each of the petals. You know, it's options, and of course you don't have to do this. This is just me adding a little bit of something to it because you can. Okay, and then just going to sprinkle that on. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just that actual imagey bit. I'll pop that on there just for now, and then I will put that back in my bottle. I need to put that on some paper that will fold, and I'll just pop those out of the way a sec, and you can see the sparkle you've got there, and it looks like a light mauve. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but to me that's looking like a light mauve sparkle on there, so that's just picking those up really nicely. Okay, so those are my two cards for today. So we've got the 7x7 card and the 6x6, but it's sort of raised, so really it's a 7x6, and they're just tent folds, nice and easy. Just need a little insert in and an envelope, and then I will find a home for those. Next time when I come back, hopefully I may even have my new Gemini, because the last thing I ordered from Crafter's Companion came within 2 days, and I know they are doing some work on their warehouse, so I'm hoping that they're pushing the orders through really fast, just so you know everything's clear before, as much as possible, before they do this warehouse work. So I think it's next week, maybe it's June anyway, so and their warehouse is closed for a week, so you know, I'm hoping that they get those out and on the way. It'll be perfect, then it might be here for next time, and I'll have a play with some Crafter's Companion. It's definitely going to be Crafter's Companion next time anyway. My older sister's birthday is soon, so I need to do a really nice card for her because she deserves it. So I might work on that next time, but it's definitely going to be Crafter's Companion anyway. Okay, any questions, anything you want to know, please just drop me a comment. Don't be shy. You know, like I say, you know, I'm not the best crafter in the world. These videos are just me crafting. I come into it with sort of an idea of what I want to do, but like you saw with this card here, you know, sometimes it's only a rough idea, and I need to sort of amend it when I'm on the go, if you know what I mean. But you know, there are hundreds of better crafters out there than me to watch as well. But hopefully you enjoy these videos, and it just gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do with the kits, because you know we all struggle a little bit sometimes, don't we? But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.